Hello everybody. So I'm changing up the way I do these videos. I'm just experimenting with different things. This right here is going to just be a quick daily message, and I'm using the Medicine Woman Tarot, and then I'm going to pull a Shaman Wisdom card. So I'm Jennifer. Thank you for joining me. If you watch this video, I do hope that this message brings some kind of enlightenment and truth and sheds a seed of light into the minds of those who watch it. And I just got a card that, and these don't go, I was just doing it upside down by accident. Oh, and I think that's good. We're going to just do 2 cards. And we're going to pull one of these, and then we're going to get into the reading. And this is really, I mean, the way I see the world we live in right now, we all have stress and problems. Things are not easy for any of us. And we're going to take these 2 cards right here. Okay. So, I'm still practicing with these Medicine Woman cards. That's so I'm going to take a look in the book for these the meanings of these cards. So we have Apprentice of Bowls, which is the Page of Cups. That's what it's called in this. Hopefully you can get a decent look at that. And then we have the 7 of Arrows. And the arrows are the wands. I'm sorry, swords. They're the swords. Okay. Okay, so Apprentice of Bowls. A devotion of joy and healing. Prayer. If I am sick, you heal me. If I am lonely, you send me a friend. If I need to grow, you challenge me. If I am tired, you grant me rest. Great Spirit, I trust in you. I see now that I too can be a messenger of hope for others. I can tell them what I have learned and how you have helped me. I will bring your love to the bodies, minds, and hearts of those who need you. I will be a comforter. Your spiritual messengers will be my guides. Lesson. All of your time is devoted to love. It does not matter what you are loving, for you have surrounded yourself with things of value and meaning. You appreciate your relationships and spend time improving your ability to communicate the love you feel for each person in your life. You are learning to be completely immersed in your high self. Prayers flow as naturally as random thoughts once did. You have formed a personal relationship with an aspect of divinity, perhaps a guide from inner planes, a saint, or a guru in the outer world. At the least, you have someone within whom you see God and whom you like to emulate. Your intuition is strong and you want to use it. Go ahead. You are an apprentice, and this is a learning stage. You learn by doing and reviewing. You would not be this far if you had not developed qualities in yourself that you can trust. There is quite a bit of magic in your life now. Use it always for the greater good. Power is at your command, and you are entrusted by your spiritual progress thus far to use it wisely. Your goal is God realization, not success in worldly terms. So this is a card basically for those who feel called, and perhaps the people watching that maybe you feel called to be a healer in this world. To bring forth messages that are comforting, that are loving, that can connect people with God or Great Spirit or the universe or the divine, whatever it is that you want to call it. And basically this is a period of learning. of learning how to bring those messages and how to be that healer that you're being called to be. Seven of Arrows. Listen to the truths of the sages. Prayer. Grandmothers, grandfathers, open your ways to me. I will practice and perfect them in my peaceful place within. I understand that I am the translator of all your words for the world in which I am living. Speak to my heart, my soul. Let seeker and wisdom be one. All thanks be to you who have walked before me. You are finding through your experience that some of the truths you were taught in the past are of real value. Though you may have left the religion of your childhood and set aside some of your early training, you are finding support from the sages. Ancient ways are being revealed to you through your own life events. You have questions. You have let go of which did not benefit you. You are now edging beyond skepticism of all systems of thought and coming to see one light uniting them all. You are opening to the masters of wisdom as they reveal their truths in response to your everyday concerns. Can you be humble enough to accept the words of those who have lived their lives to reveal divine wisdom to you? Reclaim that which empowers you. You now understand how certain beliefs help or hinder you. Take into yourself those ways of thinking that enhance your life and its greatest purpose. Do not be afraid to adopt the ways of the wise. So this card is basically one of like seeking that higher wisdom and of finding out that truth, the truth about whatever it is that you're seeking truth about, or the truth, and connecting with truth, and also gaining that ancient wisdom and understanding that there are beliefs that can hinder you, and they may not be the beliefs that you thought hindered you. Like, lots of different things could hinder you. Like believing that there's a savior outside of yourself. And maybe some of you don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. So then we have, this is from the Shaman Wisdom cards. Redwood. Feminine, North, Mars, Earth. I am Redwood. I am the majestic grandmother spirit of the forests. Through my roots, you will come to understand that trivial friendships can become profound relationships. I am unending. I am lasting truth that aims you toward the ultimate wisdom and knowledge you are seeking. I extend your awareness of the universal experience. Consider the eminence you are placing on yourself by restricting your upward growth. I come of age. You must also come of age. Grow up and face that which is on your path. So that definitely goes with the first two cards. And then we have 7. Hunting Moon. Hopefully you can read that. I am Hunting Moon. I am the preparation for the coming winter. I am here to remind you to prepare your house and put it in order. You must be mindful of relationships, be they partnerships, contracts, unions, or marriages. Things are not what they appear to be. There are times in relationships that it is best not to say anything, but to hear what is being said. Listen closely. Now is the time to consider your artistic side and create something of beauty and give it away. I provide strength for your hunt, your quest. So, I mean, hopefully, I can see how this reading relates to me personally. I hope that it also relates to others as well. I'm sure that it does. So what we see going on here is basically, like, coming of age is perhaps, maybe not everyone is called to, like, be a healer out in the world, but certainly we have to come of age in our own way and understand that we are truly all students, no matter what your age is, and that we are all healers of, ourself. We're being called to listen more. Listen more. Be there for people. Sometimes just listening to what someone has to say is a form of helping them to heal. And when we're listening, we can hear that truth. And perhaps it's like, listen to your inner voice. Listen to that higher self. Listen to what you're really seeing rather than like forcing what you want to see to be real. Now, I also wanted to read this part of the book here. In the Christian tradition, there are what are known as the 7 deadly sins. Reinterpreted to fit our current word usage, the sins are as follows. So she gives us sort of a Native American idea of these kinds of sins. Rape. Traditionally, this was called lust, but our current understanding of the essence of this sin is simply to want without regard to the wants of another. In modern language, this is rape. It is the death of respect for another and eventually for oneself. Greed. This means taking without giving anything in return or without regard to consequences. It is the death of generosity and cooperation. 3. Overconsumption. The traditional word for this poison is gluttony. We have come to identify that word with food, but in our industrial, technological consumer society, food is but one of the things overconsumed. The sin is in taking all resources and leaving none for future generations. It is the death of the planet. 4. Arrogance or pride. Now, pride has a positive meaning in our language, but the sin to which it once referred was superiority and prejudice, the feeling that I deserve everything and you deserve nothing. It is the death of civil liberty and peace. 5. Envy or covetousness. This is a desire for what others possess while feeling a resentment that they possess it and you don't. It is directing negativity toward those who appear happier and better off than oneself. It is the death of self-motivation and growth. 6. Sloth or powerlessness. Though in today's frantic world, idleness may be considered a virtue, the sin that these words tried to point out was that of not taking care of one's own basic needs. It is the idea that you should give to me so I don't have to work to get what I need. It is the death of personal responsibility. It is a complete lack of will or personal power. It is the consciousness of victim, the sufferer. It is the death of the power of I will. 7. Murder or avarice. This is not simply killing, for we kill each time we swat a mosquito or weed the garden or use a tree to build a house. It is killing out of spite, hate, greed, gluttony, lust, or envy. It is the slaughter of the scapegoat for one's own deadly habits. It is the projection and attempt to kill the shadow of one's own failings. It is the death of the life form. It is the extinction of the species. I have used the word sin several times. It is a harsh word. You can read it instead as poison or deadly action or toxic waste of one's life's energy. Any way you read it, it spells the worst of what is. These poisons are the waste you are trying to weed out of your system or the societal system in general by your study of spiritual matters. Don't be afraid to look at the illness in order to heal it. So I wanted to read that because this deck was actually published first, I believe, in like the late 1980s. So this was even before we were aware of the extinction crisis that we are now facing. And what I see a lot in the world at large, in all different types of groups and communities and belief systems, is people who want to deny the shadows and deny the illnesses of our world, and they just want to focus on the good stuff. Like they think they see this card and they hear the message from this card and like, oh, it's all about love and comforting and this and that. But what are you comforting? Like, are you comforting somebody's ego? Are you just giving them false hope and saying like, oh, it's okay that, you know, that whatever, everything's gonna be okay, and you know, and don't get angry and blah blah blah. But that's not really that's not how you heal. This is a card of healing. This is a card of healing. And this is a card of really getting to the truth. So, you know, we're not going to heal until we really do look at those shadow aspects and stop closing our eyes to the unfortunate realities that we don't necessarily like. We don't like it. But, you know, believing in a savior is only going to end up getting this species killed. That's the honest truth. We're going to end up extinct while people are sitting back waiting for a savior and criticizing people who put their best foot forward to bring out truth and light and to make them aware of the realities of the world that we live in. And you can't just keep closing your eyes to these people who are bringing truth. I mean, you might not like what you hear, but you have to hear it. You have to hear it. You have to. Like, there's no, you know, and that's also, you know, come of age, grow up and realize, you know, grow up and realize that the future isn't fine. There's nothing is okay right now. It's not, everything isn't going in a positive direction. You know, and the more that we want to like comfort ourselves with these ideas, I mean, you might as well just go take heroin to comfort you and lie to yourself about these things. So, you know, I'm sorry if I come across as cruel and harsh, and I'm sure that, you know, the people who, unfortunately, the people who really need to hear these messages and have these truths communicated to them continue to close their eyes to the reality, and those that hear the truth, they are the ones who are acting in a sloth-like way and in a powerless way, where they want to just, you know, push it off on somebody else. Oh, that's somebody else's job to go speak the truth. It's somebody else's job to make sure that this species is okay. It's somebody else's job to do that. No, it's everyone's job to find out what the truth is. It's everyone's job. And unfortunately, from what I have seen, and I'm no spring chicken, okay? I am not old, but I guess you would consider me middle-aged at this point. I don't know what middle age is. But what I see is I see a lot of spitefulness in the world. I see a lot of greed and jealousy and laziness. I mean, sometimes you know, at the jobs I've had, some of the people, honestly, that I see at work, they might as well be collecting a welfare check for the lack of work that they do. You know, people just want to go to work and collect their paychecks and live and, you know, go home and eat their, you know, their snacks and their fast food and fill their minds up with garbage, and then they want to go and click on these tarot videos and say, oh, when am I going to meet my soulmate? I just want a boyfriend. I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved. I want to just find somebody and get married and have children. Do you even know what kind of world that you're bringing children into? Do you even know the kind of world that you're bringing children into? You have to get to the truth of what are you really partnering on? The truth about what are you really here for? What kind of a soul contract do you think you have on this planet? To just go around and giving out false hope to people about this false kind of superficial love? Because what this card is saying is no more of this. Not no more love, but you have to face the realities. You have to face it's time to grow up and face the shadows. Because if we don't face the shadows and we keep pointing the finger at other people and scapegoating, that's a sure way to get the whole species into an extinction crisis. And sadly, I have such little hope anymore for it, because all I've been shown really for the most part is carelessness. I see a lot of carelessness in the world. So I just wanted to pull one more card, which is from the Goddess Oracle. And I got Baba Yaga, Wild Woman. So let's see what this says, and then I'm going to close this reading out. And to be honest with you, I don't care if you don't like my messages. You need to hear these messages, and you should be sharing these messages with people on your social media. Your social media isn't just for you to be projecting an image of, look how perfect my life is, when in reality you know damn well it's not perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Are you just a corporation, or are you a human being? Are you only concerned with perception management of your own life? Because we have social media, we have the internet here that provides us with knowledge and information, open access to knowledge and information, and people are just posting up and creating more and more superficial things that are not benefiting the world. You're sinking the world deeper and deeper into an extinction crisis, and I'm sorry that I get so upset about it, but it's just the truth, people. So, I wouldn't be making these videos and speaking the truth like I do if I wasn't out to actually help you, okay? Because you need to hear the truth. You need to hear the truth, and you need to start growing up for real and realizing that, taking money more seriously than respect for life and truth is being immature and childish. That's what you're being as a species, as a whole, okay? As a whole civilization. It's not just America. Okay? America might have started this nonsense, but America is filled with people from every country. Every country. And when they come here to this country, they fit right in with the greed and everything else. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is wonderful. Look at Greedland. It's Greedland. Can't get away with this stuff in our country. We love it here. We could... Okay. Wild Woman, Baba Yaga. I walk in the forest and speak intimately with the animals. I dance barefoot in the rain without any clothes. I travel on pathways that I make myself, and in ways that suit me, my instincts are alive and razor sharp. My intuition and sense of smell are keen. I freely express my vitality, my sheer exuberant joyfulness to please myself because it is natural. It is what needs to be. I am the wild, joyous life force. Come and meet me. Baba Yaga flies into your life with her mortar to help you nurture wholeness by getting in touch with your wild woman. It is time to reconnect with the natural, the primal, the instinctual. It is time to shake out your hair, your body, and shake up your life. Have you banished your wild woman to the dungeon? Have you chained her, muzzled her, caged her, lest people find out you are not nice, neat, and clean? Free her! You need her. The wild woman is part of your joy, part of your vitality, part of your creativity. She is you, and you need every part of yourself in order to dance wholeness. Baba Yaga says it is most important for you to learn to integrate your wild woman, because an unintegrated wild woman creates self-destructive behavior. The wildness is here and needs to be expressed. It is your choice whether to express it creatively or destructively. Well, an unexpressed wild woman is going to end up in destruction. And, you know, the sad thing is that we truly live, like, I have been a speaker of truth for the last 6 years. I have gone around all over the Northeast, including DC. I've been in the cities and the suburbs alike. And everywhere that I go to spread my truth, it's like the collective itself wants to cage this wild woman and lock her away somewhere. And then they wonder why this wild woman who gets locked away by your collective that likes to live in the shadows and not want to grow up, why she said, you're going to just go extinct. Just go extinct. Because the planet does not need to be destroyed by you anymore. The children don't deserve to be growing up in a prison-like state of being. Oh, you can't sit still in class? Well, we feed you garbage. We feed you chemically processed food and genetically modified organisms, and then we get mad at you because you can't sit still when you aren't meant to just be sitting still. But here, you're going to have to take Ritalin so you can fit in better to the society. I mean, what kind of world are we creating? And why? Why is it that when people are confronted with the truth, you just want to lock it away? No, we don't want that. Well, what do you think's going to happen to you then? Where do you think your species is headed to? Stop giving the false hope. Stop with the messages of everything's going to be okay, because I'm sorry to tell you that unless you choose to seek that truth and get that real, true understanding about the shadows, understanding that not everything is all hunky-dory. You have to dive into the shadows, and you need to see what's going on in the darkness and bring it to light. You need to bring it to light. Even if you're just sharing information with people on your social media, that is at least one step forward. Instead of deleting those people who share these things, these messages of information and knowledge and truth, and then they get deleted from your friend page because you just don't want to hear it. I'm sorry to tell you, but yes, personal responsibility is for everyone, not just for some people. The truth isn't just for some people. The truth is for everybody, okay? So hopefully people will understand where I'm coming from. Hopefully they will decide to let their own wild woman out. Even that, that man, even if you're a man, I mean, this is that wilder side of you that, perhaps you call it the beast. But if you don't understand that you have a beast within and that you can't keep it locked up in a cage like we have the zoos, this is why we have a world that is killing itself. Civilization is completely man-made, and it is completely out of touch with nature. And not only is it completely out of touch with nature, but it actually wants a divorce from nature. You actually think that robots and artificial intelligence are going to somehow save your species. You're on the road to your own destruction. And the only real hope, because there's hope, but only by allowing yourself to get in touch with that wilder side of you. And I'm not talking about going out and partying and drinking alcohol. I'm talking about looking at the shadows and letting yourself, like, express yourself. Anger is not something that you should shy away from. Anger is something that needs to be expressed. It is natural and healthy, especially when we live in a world that is destroying itself. If you think that everything is just fine in this world, you're definitely part of the problem. You're definitely part of the problem. And the only hope is really to understand that the true healing is going to take place by seeking that truth. So I hope that you choose to seek truth. I hope that you get over the embarrassment of concerning yourself with what other people are going to think of you. Because that's what it means to fear your own light. That's what it means to fear your own light. Being afraid of what others are going to think of you. It doesn't matter what those people think. If people want to put you down or not like you because of light that you share, then there's something wrong with them. And you need to shine your light for the other people who want to shine their light. Who want to be real with themselves and with others. Because the more people that go ahead and just allow themselves to share their true light and to seek that truth, the closer we can move into a space of healing. Because right now, with all the fake healing that is going on, these fake, false messages of everything's okay, it's not, okay? It's not. And I'm not saying that it can never be okay. But it's not going to be okay if people do not get involved and continue to worry about what other people think and what they're projecting out. They're so concerned with their projection of what they're showing others, but in reality, you're shunning your own light. That's really what you're doing. So I hope that this message finds you and that it inspires you to speak your truth. Thank you.